Greetings everyone. Today we are reflecting on a message delivered by Preacher Robert Moore at the Fennell Avenue Church of Christ in Hamilton on March 16, 2025. It is a message that helps us better understand God's care and purpose for our lives, how He uses challenges to help us grow, and how He stays close to us through it all. Robert Moore's sermon is titled, "My Father is the Vine Grower." The main scripture behind the sermon comes from Psalm 80, 8-18. It's a prayer from the people of Israel, crying out to God for restoration, mercy, and renewal. In this passage, the people are compared to a vine, planted and cared for by God. God's people, symbolized as a vine, were brought out of Egypt, given space to grow, and became strong. But over time it was broken, burned, and destroyed. So the writer pleads with God to return, tend the vine, and bring it back to life. Psalm 80, 8 says, "You brought a vine out of Egypt, you drove out the nations and planted it." Then in Psalm 80:16 we learn that the vine is cut down and burned with fire. In Psalm 80:18 the people plead, "Revive us, and we will call on your name." This picture of the vine is used all through the Bible to represent God's people. Now here's something really interesting. Preacher Moore knows a lot about vineyards, not just from reading the Bible but from real life. He shared that, "I get this immediately because I've seen this happen. My grandparents had a vineyard. I know what they were doing. They're cutting so it will bear more fruit." That makes Preacher Moore kind of an expert on this topic. Not in a fancy way, but in a real-life, hands-on way. He's seen what pruning looks like and how it helps vines grow stronger and produce more fruit. And that's the big idea here. A trimmed, pruned vine might look smaller and weaker, but it's actually healthier and stronger. Why? Because pruning helps it grow more fruit. Jesus said, "Every branch that bears fruit He prunes to make it bear more fruit." John 15:2. So even when things in our life are going okay, God might still allow challenges, not to punish us, but to help us grow. Like Preacher Moore said, God is never closer to you than when He is pruning you. And here's something else important he said, and these are his exact words. Satan doesn't make us bad, he makes us busy. We're growing all kinds of sprigs and sprouts all out of us so that we don't bear fruit. What does that mean? It means that Satan's goal isn't always to turn us into evil people. Sometimes he just wants to distract us. He fills our lives with so many activities, pressures, entertainment, and responsibilities that we lose focus on what truly matters, growing in our relationship with God and bearing spiritual fruit. All those sprigs and sprouts are like things in our lives that might not seem wrong, but they take energy away from the fruit we should be producing. So God comes in and prunes them away. That's why James writes in James 1:2, "Count it all joy when you face trials." And Hebrews 12:11 we are reminded, "Discipline always seems painful, but later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness." Pruning, as Preacher Moore put it, might mean losing a job, getting sick, failing at something, or going through grief or stress. But just like a plant growing through cracks in a hard rock, even in harsh environments, God enables it to grow strong. In the same way, God uses hard things in our lives to strengthen us and help us to bear spiritual fruit. Jesus also said in John 15:5, "Apart from me you can do nothing." So if we try to do life without Him, we wither, like a branch snapped off a vine. The Bible in John 15:6 says, "Whoever does not abide in me is thrown away and withers." But if we stay connected to Jesus, even during tough times, we will bear fruit. And that fruit is what shows the world we're truly His followers. By their fruits you will know them. As mentioned in Matthew 7:16. Preacher Moore also pointed out that a lot of people want to change the world, their school, their government, or other people. But he wisely said, we cannot change the world, but we can change our world. We can allow God to trim us. If we let God shape us, even through struggles, we grow, we become stronger. And the people around us will notice that there's something different about us, something hopeful and peaceful. So remember what Jesus said, "My Father is glorified by this, that you bear much fruit and become my disciples." John 15:8. We are here to glorify God, and we do that by bearing fruit, even when it's hard. So next time life gets tough, ask, is God pruning me? Is He helping me grow? Because one day, maybe months or a year from now, you'll look back and see that all the hard stuff helped you get closer to God, made you stronger, and helped you grow more fruit in your life. If you want to hear the full sermon, just head to the Fennel Avenue Church of Christ YouTube channel and look for the message titled, My Father is the Vine Grower, by Robert Moore, delivered on March 16, 2025. Let's stay connected to the vine, let's let God prune us, and let's bear fruit.